Hello everyone, welcome back to Footy Leagues Around the World. My name is Ryan, and in today's episode we will be going to our first Caribbean country, that is Antigua and Barbuda.
Footy Leagues Around the World, Footy Leagues, heck yeah!
From now on in the video I will be referring to Antigua and Barbuda as A and B to avoid redundancy. So in A and B there are three tiers of football. The Premier League, which is also known as the Digicel Red Stripe Premier Division, Division 1 and Division 2. The Premier League's inaugural season was in 1969. There are 10 teams in the Premier League, 12 in Division 1 and 10 in Division 2, which is divided into two zones. The season for each league goes from late September to February, with each team playing 18 games in the Premier League, 22 games in Division 1, and 16 games in Division 2. All teams in the Premier League play their matches at the Antigua Recreation Ground in the country's capital of St. John. The top two teams in the Premier League earn a spot in the CFU Club Championship, a club competition between Caribbean teams in which the winner earns a spot in the CONCACAF Champions League, the premier knockout competition in North America. The bottom two teams in the Premier League are relegated to Division 1, while the team that finishes in 8th plays the teams in Division 1 that finish 3rd and 4th in a relegation playoff. This playoff is round-robin style, so each team plays each other once. Whoever wins the relegation playoff goes to the Premier League, while the two losers go to Division 1. In Division 1, the bottom two teams are relegated, while the team that finishes in 10th plays the two second-place teams in Zone 1 and Zone 2 in a relegation playoff similar to the one that was just mentioned. In Division 2, the top team in each zone is promoted. The country also had a domestic cup competition called the Antigua and Barbuda FA Cup, but it hasn't played since 2011. Now, similar to Andorra, there's something interesting to be said about A and B, and that's Antigua Barracuda FC. Now, this was a professional team in A and B that played in the USL Pro, which is the third tier of the United States soccer pyramid. The club was founded in 2010 and played in the USL International Division with other Caribbean teams such as River Plate Puerto Rico and Sevilla Puerto Rico. They also played their home games at the Stanford Cricket Ground in St. George, Antigua, until they became a traveling team in 2013. That same year, they lost all 26 games that they played in, tying a North American professional record, and folded shortly after. Today, some of the players that played at the failed club can be found at different clubs around Antigua and Barbuda. Interestingly enough, the team that wins the Premier League in A and B gets a cash prize of $10,000 plus a new bus, which is great if you haven't won the Premier League in a while, but almost totally useless if you won back-to-back years. Also, from what I can tell, there's really no limitation to the number of international players that can play on a squad. A majority of the players in the league are from A and B, but other countries like Jamaica, Dominica, and St. Vincent and the Grenadines are also represented. Notable players in the league include Tamorle Thomas, Peter Byers, and Randolph Burton. In the early days of the league, Empire FC dominated competition, at one point winning 6 league titles in a row. They have the most overall league titles with 13. Other successful teams include Bassa SC with 5 league titles, and Param FC with 4. The current champions are the Green Bay Hoppers. Since the A and B Premier League might be a semi-pro league at best, very little video exists of the league. However, if you type in ABFA Premier League in YouTube, you'll come across some of the most enthusiastic audio promotion I think I've ever heard.
Football, ABFA Premier League sponsored by iMobile. We're moving up.
These videos include incredibly funky music layered against the commentary of game schedules for the upcoming week, and random shoutouts to the likes of Bob Marley and memoriam for a gentleman named Scarface who has passed away.
We would like to extend our condolences to the family of Scarface who died suddenly last Sunday.
Well, that's it for Antigua and Barbuda. Thanks for watching. Coming up next is a country that's 477 times bigger than A and B, and perhaps one of the most important footballing countries in the world. That's right, coming up next is Argentina. See you then.